hell is going on? Wish this pain could go away. Hi guys, I'm going to be talking about As It Reads basically on the anatomy and physiology based on the Leaky Gut Syndrome as promised to you guys for this series of the autism and microbiomes of the gut. So hopefully you're learning something along the way. Before I continue, hopefully just as a question, just to let me know if you have learned something, and if so, what was it, so to speak, to feel free to open for discussion board, right? So you may be wondering what Leaky Gut Syndrome is, or in this case, new clinical word for it is intestinal permeability syndrome, right? Is the first question. This is a condition in which the gut lining is damaged. Therefore, in this condition, large food particles, bacteria, and environmental toxins are able to seep into the bloodstream and cause problems in the body. Leaky gut syndrome is one of the major factors in nearly every inflammation condition in the digestive system. Most people have this condition but know very little about it. There are a wide variety of things that can trigger intestinal damage, including poor diet, chronic stress, antibiotic usage, chronic infections, poor digestive juice production, and blood sugar imbalances. You can see from the next few videos over based on how these will come about. So the very first one will be the diagnosis of the leaky gut, that will show you some other symptoms as well, basically, as along with your digestive complaints for the very first image. The second one will be, as you can see, is the triggers, obviously, and just an illustration of what the intercostal mucosal cells look like, and then based on that will be your actual inside story illustration of the actual immune system, as well as versus the actual intestinal lining of celiac patients that has been identified by a number of likely processes, which obviously will show with certain areas of the arrows, especially based on of the coloured areas of certain events that might be blocked by these interventions, hearsay, and so on and so forth. So the next very thing I want to share with you all before we get into part 2 of the leaky gut syndrome is basically the problem with leaky gut syndrome is, as you know, just to let you know a bit more briefly, is the small intestine is usually the culprit, where the gastrointestinal associated lymph node tissue lives, which makes up to the 70 to 80% of our immune system. The gut lining is the key barrier, much like the skin is the whole exterior barrier to protect ourselves, as well as protecting the bloodstream from external environments of what happens, be it dust, stress, and whatever else it may be. The responsibility of the gastrointestinal associated lymph node tissue it usually gets overwhelmed. It results in high levels of inflammation in the gut that damage the intestinal lining. This is one factor in the pathogenesis of the leaky gut syndrome, or, as I said, basically of the intestinal permeability syndrome, which therefore, again, the images will clearly illustrate to this. This is one of the main factors, basically, in saying this, in this leaky gut syndrome. When the gut barrier opens and undigested food particles and microbes are able to get into the bloodstream, the body increases with the inflammatory response to protect against a systemic infection. This will then therefore increase the level of inflammation that will impact other major organs and bodily regions around our body, so to speak. So this is a quick short overview of what leaky gut syndrome is. Next one coming up next will be part 3 of episode 2 of the leaky gut syndrome, which will be based on what foods are good to heal your gut. And then, as I said before, the last one we'll cover obviously is the myths and misconceptions about the leaky gut syndrome versus also the autoimmune disease responses that comes into effect as well. So hopefully you've enjoyed this. Smash like if you did. Comment below, as I said before, if you suffer from this and what do you go about it, or if you know any more information based on this topic I'm sharing, feel free to comment it below. Feel free to also share these videos around, and don't forget when my social media handles come up. Feel free to follow me on those, as well as also in saying this, if you would like to join me on the bandwagon of donating big or small to Patreon. So anyone who are new today about Patreon, just quick heads up, Patreon is a specialized account for us creators, musicians, or alike that tries to look for funding, through your guys' support, and it breaks into tiers and stuff for you guys to give back tiers of what we do. And in this case, like I said, I'm hoping to give back tiers as many ways possible, be it through what I've mentioned in my tiers, as well as hoping to think of other things in a way to get you involved in future projects as well, which I'm still hoping that we can still do collabs based on everybody's different conditions to spread awareness, as well as in saying this, in the next one in more depth will hopefully be the Journey Through the Mind series, hopefully to continue on with that as documentary based series, hopefully once it's done and dusted. So without further ado, guys, thanks for watching. Do you well, love you, do. Until next time, I'll see you again soon. Ciao for now.